Hey guys, welcome back to some good PBO content. Yes sir, yes sir. Welcome back to the PBO. This season is season 4 and we are back. Season 2 champs, we are back. And this is going to be our season 4 draft recap. We just finished drafting a couple days ago. And we already went through free agency as well. So yeah, just so you guys know, we've been cooking for real in the lab. Alright, also, just to give a little bit of a run to everyone that is new here, potentially, the PBO is I like to think a pretty solid draft league. It's a draft league when it's on Showdown because I'm poor and I'm not going to be playing on the, I am poor and I'm not playing on the console because I don't even own the console. Anyway, that doesn't matter. It's on Showdown, easy breezy like that. And there's a couple key rules I think of this league that everyone should know before you guys kind of have context on how we got to the picks we got. So first things first is it's snake draft format. It's pretty normal. We had 1,400 points to draft. I believe anywhere from 10 to 11 mons. So you can kind of pick. I think it's whatever, right? 10 or 11. And the way it worked was obviously there's tiers, right? We did them mostly by color, so it's like red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And you had to pick. So the first half of the draft was you had to pick in that order, right? So everyone went down to 14 teams, right? Everyone had to pick red. Everyone had to pick orange, yellow, so forth. And then, so I believe that's 6. Actually, I can pull it up on my other screen. So that is, that's about 6. And so then you had to fill out your draft with 4 or 5 of the mons with the whatever remainder points you had after that. So each tier is broken up into different sections, and then each sections are worth incrementally less points. For example, the red tier is the highest of the highest tiers, right? It's the most points you could spend is 250, but the lowest red tier is I think like 220 or something, right? So that's kind of the idea. There was a lot of point variations. We obviously are rocking the Terra captains in this league as well. So a very unique thing I would say about this league is they require you to have one of your Terra types has to be your stab. So whether that's a good offensive stab or a defensive stab, like I find you kind of have to pick a Terra captain that actually like uses its stab well, whether that's offensively or defensively. Okay, so my music's still going. Sick. If that makes sense. And then you get 2 other types. If you picked a higher tier captain, you can get other things if you're lower tier captain, but don't worry about that. You know me, I like big point value, so I picked a higher tier captain. That's all you need to know. Yeah, and so that's kind of what that's the brief TLDR of the PBO. We did win season 2, subtle flex, but yeah, go back, watch all the videos, all the other previous seasons we've done. There's been a couple. If you think this is some shit for you. Alright, and with that, let's move on. So, I will say, I know what you guys are thinking. He got the Annihilate. I know. Oh, one within 2 before, just a little tease, you know what I'm saying? A little tease, a little. So you guys are with me, you know what I'm saying? We did hit that rebrand. As you can see, we are the Abras for the Agrons. We gotta get some more Canadian representation up in here. For real. I don't even know what Wichita is. I've never been. Weavile was really cool, but that one was shit. But then it got moves back. So shout out to the DLC, I guess. But yeah. We are now the Abras for Agrons. If you guys don't know, Agron is the GOAT, okay? Big fan of that mon. Super awesome. Super cool. The logo's sick. So shout out to the artist that did that. It was really awesome. I think he did most of the PBO stuff that you see throughout the season. He did a lot of it. He's very good. Prage for Agron to come back in DLC, true. And then, well, the second DLC. And Prage that we get Mega Agron, because that's really my go. Mega Agron is my favorite. Agron's pretty good. He grew on me, but he grew on me a lot. But Mega Agron's the go. Okay, anyway. So we did rebrand. We're no longer Wichita Weaviles. We're rocking this much more badass logo, as you guys can see. Okay, finally get into our draft. It's been a solid, let me take a look, solid 5 minutes. Oh, honestly, not bad. Okay, I'll drink some lemonade. Okay. So first things first, our draft pick was like 9th or 10th or something out of 14. Like, we were pretty low on the list. I don't know how we got him on. So our first pick was Annihilate. I still can't believe I got this mon. Our first pick was Annihilate. If you guys don't know, which you probably don't, because I don't really talk a lot about anything other than the PBO matchups on this Shadow channel, I love Annihilate. I think Annihilate rightfully was kind of banned from OU, but it is my favorite new Gen Mon. Or Gen 9 Mon, I should say. I love this thing. I love its stat distribution. I love its typing. I love its, well, he really has one good ability, but his one good ability is very good. I love his move pool. Like, I think Primeape in general is actually low-key a steal usually in draft leagues, right? Free advice for all you drafters out there. If Primeape is like low points, it has like what? Base, I think it's the same speed, right? It's the base 90 speed. I think. Yeah, I think it's base 90 speed. It has like 105 attack, it has U-turn, it has all the punches, you know, like Primeape is good value. So when they gave this thing ghost typing and then lo and behold a broken ghost stab, holy, like I just love it. So yes, we did get Annihilate. I know, I've been kind of going crazy mode simping for the Annihilate here, but I love Annihilate so much. Okay. Why do I love Annihilate? Why do I think it's good? So this was a 250 point, just immediately round 1. I think Annihilate is so good. So good. Like, almost broken. Almost. I don't know if it's broken in draft yet, but like, in theory, I think it's broken. Because this Mon, similar to its previous form, Mr. Primeape, it has all the elemental punches, it has rock coverage, it has, you know, U-turn, right? I really don't think I'm gonna need to run the bulk up Resto Chesto bulk up classic Annihilate set every week. I really don't think that's real. I think Annihilate is, with this stat distribution, as you guys can see on the left, as you can see, like 110 HP is like pretty good. Couple that with a 115 attack stat, okay. You know, it's kind of looking like Ursaluna. You know, got the HP stat, got the attack. It has like a pretty decent defensive typing, and then we have 80 defense and 90 speed F. That's pretty good, especially when you consider that we can bolster its defenses, right? Easy, no problem. Well, it can bolster the defense bulk up, but unlike Ursaluna, both Ursalunas, 90 speed. Annihilate speed tier for the top half of its stats, I think, is really what makes this mod insane. Also, a really nice thing about Annihilate is because of this ghost typing, it's a wonderful, perfect spin blocker. I think it's probably one of the best spin blockers in the game, right? Also, it's Defiant, so it punishes Defog, similar to Golden Go. Not as broken as Golden Go, but it's pretty good, right? Very nice. I think Annihilate is a very blank canvas Pokemon. Look at its stats. With 110 HP in these defenses, it can take hits. It takes hits like it was designed to be a wall. This thing takes hits so well. It's disgusting. And then it hits you so hard back. 115 attack. And then when you start looking at like its moves, we have high base power moves, right? We have Gunk Shot, we have Close Combat, we have Rage Fist. I haven't even got to my Rage Fist type talk, right? It's so good. That's just the wall breaker potential, sweep potential of Annihilate, right? So that's like, you know, 1 or 2 modes of Annihilate. What about the third mode, which we saw a little bit on its way out of OU? Like lead / anti-lead Annihilate. I don't know if you guys know this, but when you have a Ghost Mon that can lead instead of hazards, it's really strong. Annihilate does get Stealth Rocks, Annihilate gets Taunt, it gets U-turn, it gets Rage Fist, right? These 4 moves together make it really hard to interact with on lead. For example, if I lead Annihilate and I rocks, and then you go for rocks too, right? Like, let's say we trade rocks with whatever I'm on. And then you can't spin on me, right? So then you have to hit me. So you're gonna try to hit me. I'm gonna get 100 base power Rage Fist. Add stab to that, and I'm beating face. I'm beating your cheeks. Like, it's so nice, right? Annihilate on lead is so unique because let's say you lead off with like Landorus, right? Defiant proc, I get +1. Oh, that's really fun to play against. Let's say you lead with your spinner, right? Like, let's say it's Dawnfang, Great Tusk, whatever it is, right? Set up rocks, we trade rocks, now you can't spin, so now I'm like, you're stuck rocks always on the field, right? What about like all the slow U-turners, right? Like, think about all the mons that got spikes this gen, right? Gliscor got spikes. Imagine Gliscor comes in, I go for rocks, he goes for spikes, and then he wants to U-turn out into his team. Please U-turn on me. I quad resist it. I'm gonna get an 100 base power ghost move. To put that in perspective, Poltergeist, you know that move that is like makes physical ghost types actually a menace? It's 110. And then you add stab to it. Like, I'm telling you, lead Annihilate is very viable, very good. And so I'm very excited to use Annihilate. I think this thing, with its bulk stats, with its offensive stats, with its coverage, with everything, this mod's gonna do wonders for us. In the PBO Season 4, I'm super excited. Like, I'm really excited. Also, against Vital Spirit, which might be like, oh, that's kind of bad. I mean, it kind of is, but also, like, if I can come in, take a Spore, you know, just straight out wall balloon, for example, come in, take a sleep, a sleep move, it's pretty good. It's really good. I'm very excited to use Annihilate. I'm super excited. I've been talking about Annihilate for so long, but I'm very excited. This thing can wall break, it's gonna take hits, it's gonna get rocks up, I don't know. But I do need a good name for it, and I'm on the fence. I'm struggling with that. But anyway, that was our first round pick, Annihilate. So what, I think 8 mons got picked, and then the snake came back up to us. Second pick, we got Gastrodon. Now, Gastrodon. Gastrodon has been a legacy mon for me. I've used it a lot in different formats. I think Gastrodon's very good. And Gastrodon got pretty buff this generation because they gave it spikes. So now Gastrodon can set up rocks and spikes, which is very cool. There are some like pseudo nerfs to Gastrodon. Obviously, like the recover nerf, right? Only being 8 is felt for sure, and it doesn't get toxic right now, which also kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I still think this one's very good. So first things first is, obviously this is much more of a supportive bulky mon with the 111 HP and the 82 speed F. Like, that's kind of the main draw. Even though with the defense and the defense, sorry, even with the HP and the defense maxed out, it can be a physical wall as well. Like, it's pretty good like that. And offensively, like, it's okay. Stat wise, I should say. Again, when your wall has, you know, 85 and above offensive stat, it usually bodes well for you, right? So again, the Gastrodon, I don't know, it's just tried and true, right? It got Earth Power. It doesn't have Scald right now, so I kind of have to use a different water move. It gets Recover, you know, Recover, Earth Power, Scald, Ice Beam, or not Scald, Surf, Ice Beam, whatever. Spikes, Rocks, you know what I mean? And there's some other cool techs that I'm not gonna try to give away just yet, but I've already been prepping for my week 1 battle. That's all I have to say. You know me, I like to get it in early. I like to really grind out the process of building teams, and it has some cute moves that I think will go far. So I think Gastrodon in general is very nice. It also gives us a nice water resist, just flat out. Water resist is just nice, especially in a format where, like, what is it called? What is that mon called? Walking Wake. Walking Wake is obviously allowed, obviously. It's also a very nice fire resist in general. It's also a ground type. I did think about picking Alamomola here. I think Alamomola plus Annihilate sounds so broken. Like, just the huge whoosh passing, like, really grinding the game out. But, instead, I thought I wanted a ground type early, because ground types go very fast. Gliscor was first pick, so I knew I wasn't going to be able to get that later in the draft or something like this, so I was like, okay, I'll just pick my ground type now. Gastrodon, Rocks, Spikes, Recover, all in all, pretty good. We're probably only using, is it the West one, the pink one? Because honestly, that other guy gives me weird vibes. I don't like the blue, green, and yellow combination. Okay, looking like the toilet bowl after me when I'm hungover. Anyway, so yeah. Other than that, that's pretty cool. Also, I think Sticky Hole low key could be useful, just because like if they don't have important water mons to like to negate with Storm Drain, like Gastrodon keeping its item, considering so many things on knockoff back, is like pretty good, you know. So I think again, having good abilities is pretty good, you know, which is cool. Yeah, I think that's about it though. I'm pretty excited to use Gastrodon because I haven't used Gastrodon in a minute. I feel like this is going to be very similar to our Season 2 run with Quagsire. Even though it's not unaware, we might do some shenanigans with Curse Gastrodon as well. But it was very fun. Alright, so moving on to week 3. What the heck? Pick 3. I was thinking that I should go for my Terra Captain because I did not know when or what was going to get picked after me, because I was super far down in the draft pick. So I was like, okay, I don't want to like pick a supportive mon or a mon that I want to use and then like have to wait for my Terra Captain, you know, the next 10 rounds or whatever it was, right? Like so many mons get picked, right? So I just wanted to snatch on my Terra Captain early, and I also wanted a little speed on my team, because right now, as you guys can see, Annihilate is base 90, which is not bad, but I can't say every week I'm going to be invested in speed and Annihilate because I really want to complement and accentuate his bulk. And Gastrodon obviously is a very slow mon, so I decided to pick up a mon that is, you know, not super duper fast, but you know, faster than your base 100s kind of thing. Not to mention, it always helps when you have a decent fire type in draft format. It's a fairy resist, it's a fire resist. Also, fire offensively is just very good. So, with that being said, I'll show you guys what the pick. It's Delphox. Now, Delphox, I think, is a mon that I've criminally underrated for a long time. I was a huge fan of Greninja. I'm still a huge fan of Greninja. Everyone loves Greninja. That mon is crazy good. And I've even used Chestnut pretty effectively. You know, when you rock the semi-stall vibe with the spikes and the leashy and the spiky shield, like all that good stuff, right? Very cool. But Delphox is a mon I've been low-key sleeping on. But this gen, I believe it's just that gen, it got Nasty Plot, right? Well, for sure it gets it, I just don't know if it was this gen or last gen. But there's been some incremental buffs to Delphox as well, which is nice. But I think the most important thing for me about Delphox is, like I was talking about, the Terra system. Delphox is one of these mons that benefits heavily from being able to Terra into its own typing. You know what I mean? Like offensively, in my opinion. Right, Delphox's speed 104 is nice. It's faster than the 100s, which is nice. And it gets into like very unique situations where like all the 105 Pokemon, right, which are real, like they do exist, the 105 mons, they have to run plus speed natures max, almost max, right? So it's a very unique speed tier that like does beat the base 100 speed tier, which is like an important benchmark to hit, but all the other, I don't say quirky, all the slightly faster mons will have to run the max speed, right, to outspeed Delphox, which I think is very underrated and very useful. Anyway, okay, so that's the one stat, the speed stat, right? I think the speed F on this thing's also pretty good, which is cool. It's nice. It's just a nice fairy resist. Most of the time, this will be taking fairy coverage and stuff. Honestly, Fire Psychic defensively is not awful. When you couple it with like some kind of investment, it's okay. But again, it's not great. This does get Wish, so maybe we could Wish Pass on Delphox. That'd be kind of fun. But obviously what I'm talking about mostly is the 114 special attack there, as you can see. The 114 special attack, I mean, you add a couple Terra types to it, you add a couple items, you know, maybe you a nasty plot or calm mine, you know what I'm saying? And we are cooking for real, like, we are blowing things away. You know, this thing does so much damage. This thing also has amazing coverage. Like, it just has Fire Fairy, Grass, Ghost, there's another one too I'm forgetting about, but you know what I'm saying, like, this thing has pretty good coverage, and that's all without Terra Blast. Like, it's just good. It also obviously gets Caught Mine, the Nasty Plot, it gets Will-O-Wisp, Wish Protect we talked about. I think it might have gets Baton Pass too. You obviously you guys maybe don't know, we cannot, but we can Dry Pass with Baton Pass. We cannot Baton Pass stats, but that's fine. So this one gets a lot of moves, right? Mystical Fire, if we're running a support set, maybe could be shiesty, could be fun. So stuff like that. In general, I think Delphox is deceptively flexible, given its, I don't want to say mediocre stats, but it's it almost feels like a specialized mon where, like, if you want to fight and like do a lot of damage, then I think Delphox can do it. But if you need it to, like, you know, resist some key typings, you know, maybe stay around a little bit longer, wisp things, mystical fire drop things, stuff like this, like, I think it maybe could do that as well. I don't really know. I haven't used it a lot. I'm much more Team Greninja, so like I said. Obviously, we got Blaze and Magician. I think Magician's kind of cool, especially when we talk about the Terra types that we're gonna put on our little guy here. I don't know what I'm gonna name this guy, but anyway, a Delphox, because I will say Psychic typing being weak to Dark really rains on my parade. So anyway, with that being said, let's talk about the Terra types. So first things first. Obviously, like we talked about Stab. I did pick Fire for Stab. I want a game where I just, like, yeah guys, I click, you know, Terra Flamethrower or whatever it is, and I just want to, like, do as much damage as possible. It is what it is. I think it's fine. I think it's very good for potentially, like stall matchups, if that makes sense. Like, if I have to look at it, but if someone's played, like, if someone has, like, Blissey and Corviknight, I can't say I know people's drafts off the top of my head, but you know what I mean? Oh, maybe I Nasty Plot, Terra Fire. Suddenly, like, Blissey maybe takes whatever it is, right? Maybe Blissey takes 35% or something. Probably not, but like maybe 30%, 25%. Psyshock picks up the kill after. I don't know. I just think in general, hits hard, very good. It's like mini Chi-Yu. That's what it is. It's mini Chi-Yu. It's Chi-Yu before Chi-Yu. Anyway, this is the least exciting Terra type in my opinion. Second one up is Fairy. You guys know me, especially if you watched in Season 2. I love me some Terra. What did I just say? I love me some Terra Fairy. Terra Fairy. Say that 10 times fast. I love me some Fairy typing. Okay? This typing is so good defensively. Like I said, it gets Wish support, so maybe we can do like a fake Wish support action, maybe. It does get Dazzling Gleam already, so we don't actually have to use Terra Blast, which is like fine as well. And just in general, being able to resist Knockoff and Sucker Punch and all that good dark stuff is nice. As you guys will see throughout the draft, we actually don't have a Fairy type, which is not my strongest draft format, you know, not my strongest draft, but that's okay. My voice cracked. Oh my god, that's a rare sight, boys. That's okay. I think with Delphox, I think we'll be able to supplement that need, right? So I think it's okay. Alrighty. And then last but not least, we went with Grass. I couldn't decide on this last one. I think Grass is like the way to go, because this thing does get Grass Knot. But if you guys don't know, Grass Knot is, in my opinion, very inconsistent. Like, for example, Rotom Wash takes like, it's base 60 power or some shit. Like, fuck that. So I might as well just use Terra Grass. Have a base 80 power move, you know, a little stronger than Giga Drain, a little weaker than Energy Ball kind of thing. It's nice. Also, I think Grass in general might give us some special outs against specific mons that you guys don't need to know about. but you know, would hate to spoil it for all the coaches watching my video. But I think it has some niche matchups that could be good. So that's Delphox. That's our Terra Captain. I'm pretty excited to use it. Hopefully I don't fumble. Alright. So now we move on to our fourth pick, which is Scyther. Now, when people talk about DLC mons, bless Scyther, because this mon got all of its moves back in the DLC. So Scyther was our fourth pick. Once again, we look at stuff like speed tiering. This is 105, not 104, so it's a similar speed tier, but again, outspeeds the base 100s. 110 attack, very nice. 80 defenses, not bad. And its typing is not super great, but it has some key resistances, right? Like fighting and ground and stuff, and I'm okay with that. So I think Scyther, similar to Annihilate, while I don't think it can run a lot of items, while I don't think it's like on an Annihilate's level, obviously, this thing can run Eviolite, it can run Boots, it can run Choice Band, it can be technically Scarf. Like, this thing hits very hard with Technician, it got to win beat back, it has Bug Bite, and unironically, Bug Bite is actually very good in this format because obviously it's base 90 with Technician, but as well, people run berries willy-nilly. Whether it's a citrus berry, whether it's a custard berry, whether it's a what is it called? Just a resist berry. Like, in general, berries are useful. So Bug Bites, you know, unironically gets value. And in Generation 9, this little bro got close combat, so it's even better. It kills the steals now. So I think Scissor's actually pretty good. Scyther. Scyther's pretty good, considering how in what tier bracket it was in. I thought it was pretty good as a wall breaker. It also gets SD, obviously, so it can SD sweep, and it gets defog. Not that I think defensive Scissor is gonna be my wall of choice, but it does get defog. So you know, if shit hits the fan, Scissor can defog. Scissor. Scyther. That's how much. It's been a minute since I've used Scyther, but I've used Scyther. Bro does a lot of damage. I'm pretty excited to use it. It does not get Roost, so RIP to Roost, but it does get Defog, it does get SD. This is a very offensively inclined mod, and I'm pretty excited to use it. Not much to say. Not much to say about Scyther. Next up is our final tier drafted mon, if that makes sense, like the first 5. And it's Morgrim. He was in the lowest tier, not the NFE tier, because last season that was a problem. Excuse me, boys, excuse me. I was just dying, choking on my lemonade. Not a good look. Okay, so Morgrim is our final pick, 5th pick here for the structured, like, not free pick rounds, right? So Morgrim, again, the last tier in general is not very good. Not very good. So I was like, okay, we'll pick Morgrim. It's a fairy type. So I guess it's not only Delphox that's my fairy type, but like, again, Morgrim's really here to be a one trick. It does one trick pony, right? It does one thing, but it does it very well, and that's pranks to screens. So this is very much Grimmsnarl light. You know, light screen, reflect, prankster, fantastic, putting shot, fantastic, taunt, fantastic. That's all that you guys really need to know. I think it gets Thunderwave too. Like, it gets some things, but this is not the potential, like, it doesn't have the Grimmsnarl potential of, like, nasty plot sweeping, or bulk up and sweeping, or just being AV value. Like, no. This thing's stats are too low to actually do anything. But that's okay. Prankster, screens is very good. If you guys look at our team so far, we have Scyther, Delphox, and Annihilate. Like, I feel like if I put up screens, Nasty Plot on Delphox, Annihilate starts bulking up Scissor SDs. Like, we have mons that really do benefit from screens. So I think that's really good. I honestly, I think it's very good. This also gives us a solid knockoff switching, and duck switching in general, just because it quad resists. So even if, like, even if what is it called? Even if it's a weak BST mon, its typing is just so good. I thought the typing has innate value. Prankster is an amazing ability with his move pool. It also gets Frisk, so for some reason, I feel like we need a Frisk. Maybe like I don't know, some weird lead shit. I don't know. Frisk is also very, very good in draft format. So it has 2 good abilities. Its typing is out of this world. And its move pool, like support-wise, is amazing as well. Its BST, very bad. But everything else kind of has going for it. I'm a huge fan of Grimstall. Obviously, I couldn't get it with the point situation. So I was like, alright, I'll get you a little bro. Help me out real quick. Excuse me. So yeah, it's not very exciting. That was just pick 5. I think it'll be okay. I think there'll be matchups where I win this thing, set up screens, and then just set up with my next guy and win. So that's pretty exciting. Alrighty, so pick 6. Pick 6. I think is my spinner, right? Let me check. Let me check so I can hype little bro up. I'm pretty sure it was. Do you guys see that? No, you don't. Okay, yeah, so my next pick on pick 6 was my spinner, because as you guys can see, like defog on Scyther cannot be our only hazard removal. That would be bad. And I almost picked this mon round 3 instead of Delphox, but then you remember on the Delphox thing when I said, oh, I want to pick on my Terra Captain soon so I don't get cucked. That's when Cyclizar comes into the picture. Cyclizar, I think, is criminally underrated. Like, everyone talks about, oh, Shedtail, and how Shedtail, really carried this mon. And I think it's, like, kinda true. Like, Shedtail is very good. Very good. Which is banned, by the way, so... I cannot set up screens, go into Cyclizar, Shedtail into Annihilate. I can't do that. If I could... free win. I cannot lose the league for real. Anyway, but I think in general, Cyclizar is actually a very decent support Pokemon. 95 attack is not bad. 85 special attack is not bad. It does get shift gear, can set up. Its speed is obviously the biggest pull, the 121 speed. I really wanted a mon this season that, like, its speed tier was so good that the extra points that I have, because it will outspeed most things, would go into bulk, and I want that bulk to actually be good. Sorry, I want that bulk to actually be useful, right? So this is like super budget, like Dragapult and budget 20 combined is kind of how I see it. Again, 95 attack is not bad, 85 special attack is not bad. This thing gets U-turn, spin, knockoff. Fantastic supporting moves. Excuse me, I cannot believe that lemonade is just still stuck in my throat. It's not great. So really good supported move pool. It has also amazing coverage. Like, it just has super good moves. Whether that's like a decent coverage spread, if that makes sense, or if it just has strong moves like Draco Media, Overheat, stuff like that. It's just, I feel like it's very good. And if it's not very good, it's at least very underrated, and I want to bring attention to this guy. Because this guy, I swear, this guy's going to go far. I feel like he was going to do a lot of good work for us this season. He does also got Regenerator, so I think that's really helpful. The ability to switch a Dragon type in to resist your Fire Water Grass, you know, to go switch in, stuff like this, like, is very nice. Again, this mon is really just a support mon. Maybe we can cook up with like Screens X Shift Gear combo, maybe, we'll find out. But I think in general, has amazing coverage, amazing utility, amazing speed, and honestly pretty decent offensive stats. Like, honestly, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Considering its speed tier, like 95 is not shit, you know? It's not unplayable. It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to use Cyclizar. I've wanted to use Cyclizar for a long time. I wanted to use Cyclizar a lot before the DLC, because that was before 20 had knockoff and stuff, and so it was really it was almost like a better 20, almost. And I was really excited to use that, but I could never fit it into my drafts because, as you guys know, last season we picked Haxorus, and I was like, well, I'm not going to double up on Dragon types. And then season 2, we picked Bax because Bax he's my guy. So, and again, I'm not big at doubling up on Dragon types. Alrighty, so that was our pick 6. Our pick 7, once again, keeping with our speed theme, is Killer Wardrobe. This mon I've seen do wonderful things in draft. So, once again, I was like, oh, time to get some speed, because I want speedy mons. So, we picked up some speeds, and we also picked up another pretty good special attacker. This thing gets Roost as well, which is very good. This also gives us another, what is it called? Another Dissuader of Defog, if you catch my drift. Competitive is very strong. It's a very good ability. We all see it on Empoleon now and how good that is. So stuff like that is very strong. It also gives us Volt Absorb, which is like nice to just be immune to electric moves. So that's very nice. I also think the electric flying typing is like pretty good. I know last season we were rocking the Oricorio Pom Pom, and you know, she did good work. And Zapdos is obviously very infamous, very famous for its typing. Offensively, this typing is amazing. Defensively, it's actually not bad, right? Obviously, the 70 HP and the 60-60 on the defenses here. We ain't no Zapdos, you know. We ain't no Zapdos. But with that being said, if we need a fighting resist, if we need a steel resist, like this still can cut it, you know what I'm saying? It gets Roost, unlike Scyther, so it can actually stick around a little bit longer. Volt Switch U-turn, you know the deal, it's pretty good. This, oh, I just hit my wall, that's not great. But I think in general, this mon, again, will just hit very hard. It's going to hit very hard. It's a super hard punish to any kind of rain team that got drafted, and I believe there was one. Some guy thought Politoed was like gonna be the new wave, I guess. I don't know, but I think he's cooking on the rain, so, which I can respect, honestly. Always nice to cook up new strats and draft. True, so you know, shout out to that guy, I guess. But anyway, very good against rain. In general, I think this mon is just gonna hit very hard. We do kind of have to land a Hurricane, which is not my favorite thing in the world. But with that being said, it is Hurricane, so if we hit it, big damage. Not much to say about Kilowattrel. Again, it's pretty binary. It's probably the most binary mon I got here. I mean, probably other than Morgrim so far, right? Morgrim is very, very binary, but that's okay. So that's Kilowattrel. It's not very exciting. I still can't believe I got this mon. Our pick 8, as you guys can see, the free round picks have kicked in. We got Samura Hosui, rocking that sharpness ability. So at this point in the draft, I kind of thought I was only gonna draft 10 mons, so I was like, oh, like I'll just spend big. And I also wanted Clefable, because I was like, yo, if I got Clefable with Annihilate and Gastrodon, like I thought that'd go crazy. But Clefable got sniped, feels bad. And so I was like, okay, well, I do want a Dark Resist, because we don't really have a Dark Resist. If our Dark Resist is Morgrim, which will almost, I won't say never come, but like, it will not be coming every week, right? So I want a good Dark Resist. I also want more hazards, because while spikes and rocks on Gastrodon is very good, and I appreciate that, if every week Gastrodon has to be my hazard setter, I will be losing a move slot on it, and I don't like that too much. We also, I would say, it needed a strong physical attacker. We have an Annihilate, which is good. Scyther as well, pretty okay. But again, I think Scyther is gonna need some support, you know, or it's gonna be banned or something. Like it's not gonna be it's not just gonna be a generic hitter, if that makes sense. And we also were lacking priority on the team, as you guys can see. Like we got quick attack on Scyther, you know, quick attack. So I was like, okay, that's very cool. And so I was like, okay, so we need a Dark Resist, we need some priority, and then I remembered back to season 2, and I was like, yo, like I ran the double water core again, the Quagsire Vaporeon core again. It's a little different, you know, wish passing unaware, like it was defensive, but I was like, hey, what happens if I pick up an offensive water, which is something I would say I don't often do. So I was like, okay, let me cop an offensive water, and I was looking, and somehow I got to pick A, and no one ever picked Hisuian Samurai. How? This Mon is the most irritating thing ever in this generation. And there's a lot of irritating things. There's Masquerada that's annoying. There's Glamora that's annoying. No, this piece of shit is the most annoying piece of shit ever. Because it comes in, it clicks its base 97.5 move, right? Ceaseless Edge. With Sharpness. And it just does damage. It does damage, sets up Layer Spike. Nice. I really feel like I got outplayed there, right? Insane. It's so good. It also gets knockoff. Amazing move. And then it gets Razor Shell. Okay, well, we're gonna multiply Razor Shell's damage as well because of Sharpness, right? It gets so many fucking moves. It gets Aqua Jet and Sucker Punch, so it gets double priority. Like, it's so good. It's so good. And then it gets Sacred Sword, which is good for setup mons. It's good for other dark types that might come in. The one problem this one has on the ladder is because you are almost always going hit for hit with the mon, it takes damage, right? When it puts up spikes. Like, that is the thing. Which sounds dumb to say, but like, this one is obviously designed to be an offensive mon, right? It's not Gliscor, who's gonna set up 3 spikes, soak the damage off, and go next. This guy, he's gonna take the hit, set up a spike, you know, knock you out in 3 turns, set up 3 spikes, you know, be at, you know, 40%. But then the problem is, people tend to only run Samurai as the hazard setter, so then they spin away, and then Samurai's effectively dead, and then, right? But what if I told you, yes, you viewer, what if I told you we set up spikes, and then we have the best spin blocker in the game? What if I told you that? Huh? That's what I thought. So I think Annihilate X Samurai is gonna be a fantastic offensive core. Like, I think it's gonna be a problem. I think fairy types will come in, it will get knocked off, and now fairies now have to take spikes. I think we have coverage for fairy types. I think this one's insane. I'm like, I'm so shocked that I have Annihilate and Hisuian Samurai on the same fucking team. Like, it can't be real. It cannot be real. Anyway, this is gonna be a fantastic offensive water. I will say as well, because when I've played on the ladder, because Samurai's been out for what, 3 or 4 months now, I've seen defensive Samurai. Like, I've seen like AV Samurai, like, on the ladder. I've seen specially defensive Samurai. I've even seen physically defensive Samurai. I think. Because its typing has some very key resistances, right? Water is a very good defensive typing, and then Dark resists Dark itself. It also is immune to Psychic, and it also resists Ghost, which is like a very strong offensive typing right now, currently. So I think defensive Samurai could have some value, but again, most of the time, like, this thing's gonna click Ceaseless Edge, be a complete nuisance. I'm very excited to use it. Well, I don't know if I'm excited. I've not used it a lot on the ladder because I've decided that I have too much ego to pick this dumb mon. So we'll see if we can change my opinion of him. Like, I don't know. You'll never see a mon with a 108 attack do this much damage. Like, this ability is so good. And its HP is pretty good, and its defense stats like okay as well. It's not awful. Its speed's also pretty good. Its 85 speed tier is not awful, and then also special attack is deceptively useful. I don't know if this thing got scalded or not, but I have seen some lead Samurats rock the Surf, so it doesn't trigger the Glamora toxic debris and stuff, and it does way more damage to Tusk as well. So I've seen some mixed Samurai potentials in a while. So I think in general this one would be very good. You know, maybe we just rock up 1 week and we just run SD or some shit. We run SD behind screens. Oh, that sounds very fun. But yes, we did get the best spiker in the game. So that is Hisuian Samurai. I'm such a hater. I'm such a hater of this mod, actually. It's such a nuisance. Okay. Pick 9. Grafai. So we pick Grafai here on turn 9. I want to say turn 9, whatever it is, right? Pick 9 because, as you guys can see, I was going through my team and I was like, hey, I don't have a poison type. Not so good. We don't really have a great fairy killer right now. I mean, Delphox could probably do it. Let's be real here. But like, I don't want Delphox to take unnecessary damage, so I kind of wanted a fairy killer. Also, I realized I didn't have a poison type, which doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize, like, if people just run toxic spikes, like, kind of gonna need that. So I was like, okay, let's pick up a poison type. This mon also I think is interesting because it has base 110 speed, so again, it's not a very fast mon. It has some value, but it also has some banger abilities. It has Unburden with 110 speed, so straight up the bat, like, we can get cooking with some unique shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? I've done it before. It gets Prankster as well, so we kind of have a weird Prankster core, which I don't think is very common these days. And this one has some pretty good supportive moves, right? It gets U-turn, it gets Toxic, it gets Taunt, I think, it gets Knock Off. So it has some, like, crucial support moves. And 95 attack is not bad once you start factoring, like for example, Gunk Shot, right? SD Gunk Shot. It's like 95 attack will get the job done. Right? Knock Off again. Pretty strong base power move if they have an item. Stuff like this, right? So this mon, I think, has some unique supportive capabilities. I think 80 special attack as well also is somewhat usable. I believe it gets Nasty Plot too. So I think, again, this mon is, like, not awful. Even Poison Touch, which is, like, its worst ability, I don't think is awful. With Poison Jab, like, you know, that's a 51% chance to poison. You know, some Sneasel attack, you know what I'm saying? It's not bad. I've seen this thing do somewhat decent in draft format. I've seen some success, but it was a Terra Captain then, so I think Terra Captains and stuff, like, kind of make this mon much better. We are not rocking Terra, we're just rocking the standard, the poison normal typing. You know how that goes. Overall, I think this mon is, again, also very underrated. We're rocking a lot of underrated mons this season. But again, it helps us with the speed tier, right? Like, what doesn't help us? We have a pretty good speed tier, and so it kind of helps us maintain our average speed, right, to keep it up. Alrighty, and speaking about underrated mons, we're finally going to get to a mon that I'm very excited to use, but I don't think is very good. Our 10th pick was Berserker. Now, Berserker is a steel type, so you know it's Jover because he's not very good. But I'm very excited to use him. So I would say Berserker is a very interesting mon because it has two very good abilities. I don't really think Battle Armor is that useful, but in theory it could be with, like, Curse or something, right? Tough Claws is just flat out good with distance move pool. U-turn, close combat, play rough, Iron Head, right? Like, Tough Claws in general, very good ability. It also gets Steely Spirit, which I believe is its signature ability. And that is a 1.5 multiplier to just steel moves. So it's just choice band for choice band for Iron Head, choice band for Heavy Slam, choice band for Gyro Ball. Like, what? That's such a quirky ability to have when you have a 110 attack stat, right? Look at its stats. It has 110 attack, it has 100 defense, and base 70 HP is not awful considering the tier of Pokemon we're trying to pick from, right? I would describe Berserker as a very specialized mon. It takes physical hits well. It does really good physical damage back, right? It does damage. Like, I feel like that's the biggest thing. This thing does damage, and this thing has very unique has such a unique move pool. Like U-turn, fake out, play rough, close combat, iron head, gunk shot, seed bomb. Like it gets some crazy moves. It gets taunt, right? It gets stealth rocks. That was another reason I picked it up. I did think stealth rocks was somewhat useful. Again, annihilate, Gastrodon, and Berserker. 3 stealth rockers. We have 2 spikers. Like I thought we kind of made out like bandits. You know, I thought we did okay on the hazard front this season so far. So I thought that was okay. Again, I was like, I probably need a steel type. That's how that shit went down. Like, oh, I need a steel type, guys. I guess I'm picking Berserker. Kind of. But I also am excited to use Berserker in general. I always think this mon low-key is a steal. I just don't know what it will actually do. I think in theory, this mon can be very good. I just don't actually know what it will do practically, which is a little sad. But it is what it is. And finally, our last pick. It was a little unexpected. I thought I was only gonna draft 10 mons and then on Berserker and then make like draft Fire like a stronger mon, like a higher tier mon. But I didn't feel like there was anything spicy or special or anything like this. So I thought, okay, well we'll just pick up the last tier mon. And the last one is Leafeon. Now I know what you're thinking, Leafeon, what the hell? And I would say, you're probably correct, viewer. What the hell? I got questions. I don't really have answers. So, Leafeon, it was weird. So, I only had so many points left, not a lot of points, and it was not very, I won't say not very good. There was very few mons left in that tier to pick up. And I kind of thought about all the evolutions, and I was like, well, Leafeon can't be that bad, right? Cope. I'm kind of coping hard, but surely it's not that bad. The reason I said that is because, like, when I look at its stats, like, it's 110 attack, not bad, and 130 defense, not bad. And I will say, we are kind of lacking on the defense end, honestly. We kind of are. Like, Gastrodon is rocking, you know, decent Spit F at high HP. Not the best Fizz Def at high HP. So I was like, okay, like, let's pick a mon that has pretty good defense. 110 attack is not bad. And this mon has some unique things. So I know it gets SD, and I know it has like Leaf Blade, right? Obviously, it gets knockoff. It's the only evolution to get knockoff. So straight off the bat, having knockoff is a huge plus. It is an evolution, so it does get Baton Pass. Okay, that's not bad. Baton Pass value, fantastic. Okay, cool. And it gets Wish Protect. I don't know if I'm going to be using this as a Wish Protect mon, because I know historically this mon's been like an SD mon in Sun, and then like Chlorophyll, and we just ba ba ba. Right, he just tries to beat face, but worst case scenario, we got some kind of Wish Protect. We got some kind of evolution action. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But I will say is this mon for sure has good matchups in the specific mons that people are not thinking about. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. All I'm saying is there's a certain grass type Pokemon. Little DLC Pokemon that is tearing up the OU ladder, and all I'm saying is it's good to have a defensive grass type. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Pure grass defensive typing, it's not awful. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's pretty good paired with stuff like Gastrodon and Annihilate in general. Like, it take a lot of hits. If you're ever going to U-turn on my Leafeon, Annihilate plus 50, thank you. Right, plus 50 damage. Like, it's nice. Stuff like that. So I think in general, I think this mon is as bad as it is, right? It is pretty bad. I've used many evolutions to success. Umbreon, Vaporeon, Sylveon, right? Boom. 3, I've used success. Jolteon, obviously, easy. Success. I've even used Flareon to get to, I want to say top 500 on the ladder? The point, right, like, I've peaked with Flareon on the ladder before. Wish past Flareon too, by the way. It beats Chiyu. That's all I have to say. So I'm telling you, this mon, Like Espeon also I've used successfully. Magic Bounce is always good. People tell me this is the worst Leafeon. I mean the worst evolution. I say you're probably correct. You're probably right. But that's not going to stop me from making sure this thing puts in work this season. I hope it goes well. It has chlorophyll, so maybe if someone's running Sun, we can counter sweep them or some shit. I don't know, but it is what it is. And that is our team for the the 4th season of the PBO. That is our team. Tell me guys what you think. I guess I don't know. I'm tired. I'm fucking up all kinds of words. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about our team. You know what I'm saying? What's the tech? What's the sets? Is there any sets you guys want to see? You know what I mean? Give me all the comment information. You know, give me all the interaction. Smiley face. No, I don't know. Comment whatever you want. Tell me I'm an idiot and don't know how to draft. That's cool too. But yeah, let me guys know what you think. Stay tuned for some more PBO content. I believe the week starts in 2 days, so I'll probably upload this when the what's it called, when the week starts, or maybe the day before. But anyway, the idea is, let me know what you guys think. I'm pretty excited. I went for a different approach for sure when drafting this season. I picked a bunch of mons that I think are very underrated and I want to use, compared to like just trying to go for the super power picks like Iron Treads have passed. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me guys know what you think. Like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support. Make sure to share your video. You know, share the video to all the boys. You know, all the people that love Pokemon content. You know, if you know a Poke fan, send them out. Okay, but not Pokemon. I don't need those cycles in my comments, low key. But anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for watching the video. See you guys in the next video. See you. Bye.